Jugular.
Right. Susan and Liza, is there anything in that opening paragraph to sound alarm bells in your highly tuned investigative brains?
Yes, the writer's knowledge of anatomy.
Yes.
I think.
Really?
The jugular
Yes.
seems to be misplaced in this
It's
one.
nowhere near the widow's hump.
Oh, no, it's a very long dagger. I think it's time that we heard the official view of the crime. Inspector Sergeant of the CID has been put in charge of the Albington Towers investigation, and he is even now in the middle of a press conference, which I think we'll join.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, I'd like to bring you up to date with our inquiries. At the time of the murder, the Albington Towers servants were all attending a local church fete, so the only people present in the house were the dead woman, the Dowager Duchess of Leominster, her daughter, Lady Perpetua Glass, her daughter's fiancé, Captain Gerald Broughton, and the international financier, Mr. Al Akbar. The doors to the library were not locked, and the call to the police from Lady Perpetua came through at 3:17 p.m, immediately after she had discovered her mother's body. The jewel dagger, we have established, was the property of Mr. Al Akbar, and his were the only identifiable fingerprints on the weapon. The letter on the desk was in the Dowager Duchess of Leominster's handwriting, and we believe she was disturbed in the act of writing it. The deaf aid belonged to the Dowager Duchess, but she had apparently taken it out of her ear and put it on the desk.
Thank you, Inspector Sergeant. Would you care to hazard a guess at this point as to who might have done it?
Well, I think I'm going to go for Captain Gerald myself, on the grounds that it can't possibly be a foreigner.
No,
That would not be politically correct. So I think
you
we
have
can
to
dismiss
remember that
him.
this was probably written before political correctness became an issue.
Well, in that case, it has to be Mr. Al Akbar.
Anyway, now, to help us build up a more rounded picture, let's hear a statement that was given by one of the suspects. Well, actually, that's probably too loaded a word at this stage. One of the people involved in the case, the victim's daughter, Lady Perpetua Glass.
Well, I went into the library and found my mother dead at 3:15 this afternoon. It was a tragic end to what should have been the happiest day of my life. Well, it was only this morning over a game of croquet that Gerald, that's Captain Gerald Broughton, had asked me to marry him. We'd told Mummy the news in the library just after lunch, and she had told the servants, and we were all so jolly happy. And now this has happened, really. It's just awful. Anyway, we left Mummy on her own at about 2:15, saying we'd see her in the hall at 3. Oh, we were all going down to the village fete together. Then Gerald and I went for a walk in the garden to talk about our plans. At 3 o'clock, we put on our coats and gloves. You know, it always seems to be such a cold day for the village fete, and we were waiting in the hall for Mummy. While we were there, Mr. Al Akbar came downstairs, looking for a servant to carry his bags and drive him to the station. He said he had done what he came to Albington Towers to do and wanted to catch the 4:15 train back to London. Well, I told him that all the servants were at the fete, and with that rather bad grace so typical of foreigners, Mr. Al Akbar stomped off to the downstairs study to phone for a taxi. I went upstairs to hurry Mummy along, and it was then that I went into the library and... I'm sorry, I'm just so terribly upset by the whole thing.
Right, could we get some hot sweet tea for Lady Perpetua, please? I should point out that in all these statements, the suspects may be telling the truth, or for reasons of their own, they may be slipping in pieces of false information. Susan and Liza, Lady Perpetua Glass is now your witness. But I should point out that to prevent you from bullying any witnesses, I am here acting as their solicitor, and they can consult me about any questions they think to be beyond the pale. Susan, have you a question for Lady Perpetua?
I'm very interested in why she should slip on a coat and a glove, or two of the latter. What time of year exactly is this?
Well, of course it's only early April, but it's awfully cold, don't you find?
Well, not normally. The fetes I attend usually take place in the summer, not
but
in April.
But isn't that always the blasted way? You know, you organise a village fete, and then the weather comes and does a googly on you.
Perhaps in your experience,